this month's American One Credit Union Financial Wellness and Fraud Fighters segment, we welcome from American One Credit Union, Erin Supinsky and Collin Martin. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Did you guys get your taxes filed?
Absolutely.
No extension, anything?
I had to pay in my taxes, which is always fantastic.
That was actually going to be one of my questions. If I have to pay, what do I do?
Yeah, so there's some options. You can set up a repayment plan. So if it is a larger amount than you were expecting and you weren't planning for it throughout the year because you were thinking, typically I got money back. This year we've seen a lot more people having to pay for the federal returns. So when you have to pay, if it's a larger amount, you can set up repayment plans. If you go to the irs.gov website, you can figure out a repayment plan with them right then. That makes it so they can't garnish your wages or anything like that. It will set up the repayment plan so you guys don't have to pay the full amount right away. You can do it in smaller chunks.
Erin, will the IRS ever call you and tell you you owe us money?
The IRS has actually put out communications to help avoid fraudulent and bad actors contacting you. And one of the things they have said is that they do not contact via random phone calls. They will always initiate contact first with a letter through the mail, but they do not make random phone calls. They don't text. They don't reach out through social media or send threatening emails. They're very specific in how they reach out.
What are some common scams that folks are dealing with?
Yeah, one of the most common ones is it's a very titillating one. It's called the unclaimed refund scam. And especially right now, since the deadline has just passed, it's a very enticing scam that's out there. You might get a notice that there is unclaimed property or unclaimed refund through the IRS and might think to yourself, I actually haven't filed yet, so maybe this is legitimate. But usually it is a bad actor who's trying to fish for information from you, gain sensitive information in order to open a bank account or otherwise use your identity.
Yeah, and that really is just the worst thing that I think that happens on the internet. Especially seniors that tend to be most vulnerable and susceptible.
Yes, I agree.
They definitely try to pull on the emotional ties or the emotional strings of, you have extra money that you haven't claimed yet. Like, come on, let's get you this extra money. Where, unfortunately, the government's not going to be saying, hey, you didn't claim this refund. And then filing electronically too helps avoid that mail theft and really getting into the scam situations. Is they've tried to mitigate the risks involved by doing the electronic filing and all the other services that they have, letting them know that they're not going to be reaching out to you.
Erin, if it feels like a red flag, is it a red flag?
Generally, yes. If your gut is telling you something isn't right, you should always listen to that and try to verify the information that you're receiving. There is a way to verify the identity of an IRS employee. They have what is called an HSPD 12 card or identification, which anyone speaking to an employee is able to ask for those credentials, and they should be able to receive them with no problem and call the IRS directly to confirm that they are talking to an employee.
I've never met one person that even knew someone who worked for the IRS. Have you guys?
Nope.
I do.
Really?
Criminal Investigations Unit.
Oh, okay. All right.
You don't want to meet those people.
They're surprisingly fun.
Oh, I'm sure they are, but
If it's on purpose, purpose meeting them.
Maybe if it's a social event or something, but no. But yeah, again, it's just there are a lot of bad people out there. It's not getting any better, so so much to watch out for.
on the good side of taxes, those that are getting refunds, how can we use that to maybe set us up for success?
Yeah, so I know it's tempting when you get this refund and it's like, man, I've been wanting this all year. This is like the unexpected money that I was planning for anyways, but like hoping that I got really, because you don't really know until you actually file if you pay or not pay. And so if you're getting a refund and you're not expecting it, a good thing to do is set yourself up for success. Maybe use that money to pay down some additional debt that you have. Maybe invest that money into a savings account, maybe for next year if you might have to pay next year if some circumstances are changing in your life. A lot of people like to go out and buy new things. We see a trend where after tax season, we see a rise in loans, just based off of people getting more money, and then they're overextending themselves where they can't actually afford this stuff, but they could at the time.
Here's
because
an example.
The addition.
Hold that. That's an example of stuff people buy with their tax return.
Absolutely.
It is.
Yeah.
So
How much was it?
I don't want to say.
It's a collector's item though.
Yes.
But setting yourself up for success by actually using that money as bonus money. You're not expecting bonus money. It's all money that just comes in that you're not really using on a week-to-week, month-to-month basis already. You're living within your means throughout the year. When the tax return comes in, stay living within your means. Use that tax return to then get ahead.
Don't abandon your budget.
Don't abandon your budget. Don't abandon the budget.
Or people could start an emergency fund.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That would be a fantastic use of a return on taxes.
A lot of people, but it's a good time for a lot of people to maybe if they want to put some of it down payment on a car, things
Yes.
like that. So there
Yeah.
are plenty of, it is okay to use some of it for
Yes.
sure.
Just still look at your budget and make sure you're staying within the confines of your
Absolutely.
budget, not the additional income that's coming in from the tax return. Stick to your paycheck.
What do we do with all that paperwork that we gathered during the preparation of taxes?
Yeah, so we are having a community shred day on April 20th coming up this weekend at Cascades Park. We will be out there from 1 to 4 p.m. with a big shred truck that you can bring all your documents. It's completely free for the community. So come on out and see us. It should be a fun time.
Yeah, and small businesses as well can take advantage
Absolutely.
of
This is for the whole community.
Very
if it's
good.
businesses, if it's personal, come on out.
this. All right.
Yeah.
Don't let someone go through your trash and find sensitive information because that's where a lot of the phishing starts.
Absolutely. Yep.
We always appreciate your expertise. Thanks for being here.
Thank you
today.
both.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. Yeah.
Erin Supinsky and Collin Martin from American One Credit Union. The morning show wraps up after this.